Hello friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and as if you were like me, that you've spent the last few days just engulfed in this legendary Chewbacca event, and it has been incredibly frustrating. And one of the I finally was able to unlock him. Last night I was playing what I think was either my 200th or 300th battle, 300th attempt, and it was infuriating. And so this had actually happened many times. So I'd gotten down to the last couple of characters. Now here I was but typically what had happened was I'd gotten down to the last couple characters and I was with a Boba Fett who was about to die without his power, revival pack on him. And then R2 would just hit me twice. He'd stun me once, and then he'd destroy me, and it was infuriating. It was I just got so angry so many times that I just stopped playing the game. And so if you were wondering where I was over the weekend or what was happening over this last couple of days, I was trying to beat this freaking event, much like most of you. Now, finally, I was able to put together my own team that worked, and I'll talk about how it does. But really what I want to focus on in this video is the difficulty of this event. And I think you guys, much like me, this was our first truly difficult legendary event. Now they told us, they said this is going to be tough. But this has broken the pattern as a lot of the other ones. Thrawn was hard. Thrawn was a very difficult team to beat. He was a very difficult legendary character to get. But I don't think I've played nearly as much, nearly as often to get Thrawn as I did this. Now, the gearing was just as hard. I didn't have my Phoenix team geared when I was trying to get Thrawn. And while my Bounty Hunter team was okay, it wasn't at the necessary or recommended levels. And so if you wanted to get legendary Chewie, the Mighty Chewbacca, without having to buy Bosk, without having to have the best bounty hunters, if you just wanted them with OG bounty hunters, there was a specific kill order that you had to follow. There was a specific gear requirement that you had to have. And it was frustrating. If you guys, like I said, if you're like me, you either just got it, you barely got it, or you're still trying to get it. Now, if you haven't gone to YouTube yet and found what the kill order is, I'll go ahead and tell you here. It is A, B, B, A, left, right, up, down, left, right, select start. And you have to hold select start at the same time. I'm sorry, no, this is a different thing. Essentially, you have to kill Chewie first, then you got to get rid of Han, then Lando, then Leia, then R2. R2's the last one. But you've got to have some key components. You've got to have Dengar in your team. Now, when this event started, my Dengar was, I think, gear 7. He might have even been gear 6, almost 7. I was able to get him to gear 9. My Boba Fett, gear 12. Zated. My Greedo, gear 12. Not Zated, because I don't want a Zeta Greedo. My IG-88, same thing, gear 12, not Zated. Zam Wessel, gear 11 when the event started. And I was debating whether I wanted to go back and forth between Cad Bane and Zam Wessel. I liked Zam. I like Cad. He has the double attack, but I couldn't get him to stay or survive that initial barrage. And it was so infuriating. And what I've come to grips, guys, is there are some specific things that you can do to get this. Now, again, this was so tough. And it's interesting because they did say you needed gear 12 to unlock this character. Again, you didn't need a gear 12 for the Phoenix Squad. You didn't really need gear 12 for CLS. You just needed to know the kill order. And when they said, hey, it's difficult, it's harder than we've ever had before, I honestly thought they were going to make it to where there were a couple of different things. I don't know why I expected something different. Really, it comes down to RNG and luck. What pulled me through, what hands down pulled me through, was freaking Greedo. Now, everyone said, hey, put Greedo, put all of these characters and make sure that they have potency. I didn't do that. What I did for my Greedo is I put a ton of critical chance on him. Because Greedo, when he has critical chance, he has a 50% chance to go again. And every time I got close, every single time I got close to being able to defeat this, to getting the characters down to one tier, or just getting them down to one character, it was because Greedo went crazy. He would attack 5, 6, 7 times. There is no cap on his chance to double attack. Now, his unique ability has no cap, so Greedo has plus 15% critical chance and plus 50% chance to attack again when he scores a critical hit. What that is it's not saying, hey, it's 50% and then 50% of that 50% and so on and so on and so on. That 50% resets with each attempt, right? So you have a 50% chance to attack again the first time, and you have a 50% chance to attack again the second time. Now, I'm not great with numbers, but attacking multiple times in a row seems like it's going to be astronomically difficult to do, but it happened a lot for me. And if I could, as long as I could keep Greedo with some crazy critical hit chance, I was almost always guaranteed to get really close. Now, you do have to finish off Chewbacca. You have to finish off Han with at least 3 characters. That's my experience. Every time I got down to just me and R2, if I didn't have at least me and one other character, there was no way I was getting close. And typically what happened was I'd get down to me versus R2, and it was just one-on-one. And I'd have a Boba Fett who just died, had come back, had been stunned by R2, which was infuriating. But man, it was tough. Now, everyone's saying that the key is Bosk to this, and the key is potency. The key is survivability. You need to play until you can get your crew to survive. Guys, there is no trick to this. Once you know the kill order, there really isn't a trick. The key components that you need to remember is you need to remember to have as high of bounty hunter characters as you can. That's first and foremost. You have to have Dengar, and he has to survive that initial barrage, right? He has to go into stealth as soon as he's hit, because if he doesn't, just reset it and start over. I reset this match so many times. Then you take out Chewie, then you take out Han, Rebel Leia, Lando, and R2. That's how you do it. And I say that as if it was easy. I know that it's not easy. It was ridiculously hard, because last night was the first time, when I unlocked them, and we're 3.5 days into the event. Oh my gosh. My bounty hunters aren't crap. I mean, they're not specifically great. I mean, don't get me wrong. I definitely need to work on my bounty hunters. Specifically Dengar. Dengar was the key to this whole thing, and my Dengar was low. But there's a lot of videos out there with people who have a lot lower galactic power, or a team that has a lot lower power rating than mine does. Mine was at 95,000. And I still couldn't do it for the longest time. So to me, what that says is this is not about being prepared. This is about the RNG. Is the RNG with you? If it is, great, phenomenal, you are going to do well. If not, reset, start over. I've seen people with as low as, I think 85 was what Arnold did it as. Arnold 101. His was at 85. Mine was at 95. 10,000 higher than his. I think someone else did it at like 90 or 83, I think was the lower one that I saw. But it's doable. If you can get those characters solid, you don't need Zetas. You don't need to be completely gear 12 across the board. You just need dumb luck. Unfortunately, that's what it comes down to. Now, I don't know how else they could have made this or reworked this event to make it harder without relying so heavily on the RNG. I really don't see how that would have been possible. But That's how you do it, guys. Do you guys think this was too hard? Do you think that it was not hard enough? I mean, there are a few things that definitely bugged me about this. Like that opening scene, the fact that I couldn't skip it was infuriating. The first couple of times, I'm like, oh, this is really cool. This is really neat. And then, like the 300th time, I was like, Han looks like he just shat himself. And Chewbacca's like yelling at him, trying to be like, why did you do that? I'm cleaning up a mess in the Millennium Falcon. I mean, I'm not a designer, and I know there's a lot of work that goes into that, but like you see something so often, so much that you're just like, and you're picking out its little flaws. Was it too hard? It's a legendary event, and if this is where they stay with the difficulties of the legendary event, I'm fine with that. If they stick with this, we're going to make it hard, we're going to make it challenging. I get it. That's just not how I've felt like they've been in the past. Now, maybe I was just more prepared for those events. I don't know. What do you guys think? What did you think of the event? What do you think of the event? Is it too difficult? Is it too frustrating? Leave a comment in the section below. Let me know what you think. Check out some of the links in the section below as well. I've got some cool stuff going on down there. Join us on Discord. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. And as always, my friends, stay nerdy.